This is an Allen E1415HD Distributor Tester. And I am going to be going over what I did to convert it to LED. Now, fair warning, some of the colors of wire inside that you're seeing here are not going to match yours if yours is untouched. I already rewired this once to see if I could get it to work because the old wires were crusty and the LED wasn't working. So I rewired it and made more modifications. All right, so we need to get this here out. This is on the back, on the other side. That was where the distributor would come in, and this spins. So you'll see around here there's some screws, couple screws. This is where the light bulbs are, and a screw. So first thing, let's take these screws out. And I leave the light bulb ones for last, and because once they're loose, it just flops around. It's kind of annoying. Now the light bulb. So once those are loose, you'll need a 3/32 Allen wrench, and you spin this around, so you gotta be careful. On the shaft here, it's hard to see, but on that shaft there's 2 Allen keys. So you hold the other side, loosen up the Allen keys, and then this will pop out. Your little circle will pop out. And you got to be careful, your lights will pop out. So that's why I was saying this is your so when you put this back together, you got to make sure that's up so it can make contact. There's a little brush down here on a little spring arm. So here, this is getting after we got the center rotator out, like the piece that the distributor bolts to out. These are the light bulbs that should have went in here. Either they're bad or the vacuum tube that runs them is bad. I don't know. But with this kit, we got a new LED light bulb, and it needs to mount right in here like so, somehow or another. But you can see it's too wide. So originally, this here piece of phenolic was on the back here. So what I plan to do is go and take a Dremel, and I marked this here piece of plastic where the LED is, and make a notch in this, so that way that LED can sit down in there. Then I'll take and put this on the back, drill holes for these mounting bolts, and here's the original mounting bracket, sandwich the phenolic between it. That's how we're going to get this done. So here we have what will be the finished project. That will go on like that. The 2 bolts go through, this sets here, will bolt down, and I just need to solder the power to this commutator ring here, and then I'm going to put all this back together. So here I unsoldered the 2 springs that were there, soldered the LED in. Now this is going to go on like this, and then bolt down. And then this piece, this slides up under there. That goes there, your 2 bolts. Now this can go back into the machine. Now putting it back together, you got to get your ring in there, then you slide on the gear, you tighten your 2 Allen screws. Then it's just kind of whatever you feel comfortable. Make sure you got your LED light in there, the right orientation. But I just like to spin this kind of until one of those holes on the short ones line up, and I'll get it in. This is kind of a pain. That phenolic slides up under there, and you just kind of got to work things around until you got some holes lined up. Get it in and get it started. And then you just tighten them all up. And that is finished on the LED, the actual installing the LED portion. There's still all the other wiring we're going to have to do next. We had these two yellow wires cloth covered. Those produce 6 volt. These two blue wires went here. That also needs 6 volts. So the yellow wires are from the transformers. The blue wires go to an indicator light that's up here, 6 volts. Then we had 2 wires here that were blue cloth covered. Those go to the transformer. Back here you can see we had another wire, a white and blue wire that went to the transformer. So between that white and blue wire and one of these blue wires, we get 12 volts. We're going to need that for his new circuit board. Up here, this is the wire that used to feed the light bulb. That is going to be going to the new circuit. Here is where the tube went, the vacuum tube that used to feed everything that feeds this. So that I just pulled out. It can go away completely now. So that's where we are on this wiring wise. These here wires that go through the distributor arm and go up, and they're going to go to the distributor. Those are going to go to hit the new board. So I got the holes drilled right here for the new board. Okay, wiring for this. We got the chip or the new board mounted. We got this here resistor mounted. So from the resistor, we're coming up. These here wires go through this stem out, and they'll connect to the distributor out there. So they're going to be bringing the signal from the distributor back. The red wire goes out, and it's going to go to the LED. Black wire is ground. I just hooked it underneath a screw. Our 2 green wires are going to the one blue and the white blue to give 12 volts to this thing so that it'll work. So I think in theory we should be done. I capped off the other hot wire, the 6 volts. I just capped together so that way anytime it's on, our light, our indicator light will work. These here used to be what goes there. I'm just going to coil them up. I got the coil is unhooked, so it can't work now. And I'm going to go ahead and put the vacuum tube back in there, just so that way in the future, if anyone ever wants to play with this, they can. Okay, so we're about ready to go back together. One thing I did have to add was from the negative of the LED, I had to ground it. So that's what that jumper wire is right there. This here is going to be a ground for another thing I'll show you. And then over here, I added this gray wire. So they're switching the neutral on everything on this. This 120 volts or the high or low voltage side, they always switch the neutral. So I'm adding to this a 12 volt power supply. And what that's going to be for is to power HEI distributors so I can test them. So that gray wire I added over there to the main power switch is going to come over, feed into the 120 side of this power supply. Then the yellow wire or the 12 volt positive side is going to come up and go through the stem of the distributor holder. And then the brown that's on that is going to come up and ground to here. So that way everything will be, I can get a positive and negative 12 volt to run an HEI distributor. Here's the yellow where that from that power supply is going to come up and go through the stem. So we are ready for this to go back together. Okay, so I just plugged it in, and we're on 8 cylinders. Let's turn the motor on and see if we got lights. So motor's spinning. Now let's turn this to synchro. And holy moly, we got lights. So that's how you do it. That's how you convert your Allen distributor tester over to LED.